I may forget some things. I hope, and when I get through with the tape, I wish I had remembered and put it in. I'm going to go back and say Lee Brown was police commissioner. And it's important because you wonder, well, I don't wonder, I know, how all these people know about mind control and the links and everything, and they don't tell about it. Lee Brown was the police commissioner there during the Wayne Williams, those murders of the black children. The list, the book, the list was made, and then was written, and at first they had charged Chet Detlinger, an ex-FBI agent, with the murders, not Wayne. And Chet Detlinger wrote the book, the list on the Atlanta killings. In the back of that, his book, the last few pages, it told all the people that were killed or supposedly went crazy, and they moved in a group of profilers. First time profilers, at least, had publicly been used, and they totally switched the personnel, or that's the way it looks to the public, at FBI headquarters in right about 81 or 82 during the Wayne Williams, those murders in his trial. My point is, Lee Brown went on to Houston to be police commissioner 2 or 3 times, and mayor. He was Jimmy Carter's drug czar. Now, he has to know about all this. He helped make that tape with Maynard Jackson about Wayne Williams didn't do it. It was the mechanism used. So, you have to wonder about there was another man that worked, that was in the staff at Clinton's. His last name was Brown, and he got killed, and they've changed the circumstances. He got shot in the head, is my understanding, and as he was on a plane or departing a plane. But anyway, I can't forget his first name, and Vince Foster was supposed to put a gun to his head. He was his legal counsel, I believe, Clinton's. And I want to say something here, and I'm trying to show you how my kidnapping was used. I was tortured every day of my life, really. I don't know how I survived. But I want to say this, it really gets me when Chelsea Clinton was asked, hey, she was sent, I don't know that she was a Rhodes Scholar, but she was sent, or she went to school at Oxford. I was working waitressing, going to school. 7 days a week I worked at a restaurant in Moulton, Alabama, making a living for me and Philip, who I thought was a half-brother at that time, who I love. I wouldn't change that. But for Dempsey, the woman had killed the twins, and I grew up being beaten to a pulp by her. So I'm making a living for them. I had no way to go to college. I was lucky to get through high school. So here you got Chelsea Clinton going over to Oxford, and she made the statement on TV that if she had to remember her father's, that she thought one of the best deeds he did, she mentioned he, and I think his name was, either last name was Bennett or Mitchell, I can't remember right at the moment. This is off the cuff, I'm telling it. In essence, I guess they thought the UK couldn't handle their own affairs, right, or it was because they were being held hostage. They signed treaties with Northern Ireland. And she said that in her statement, Chelsea, that her father helped make peace in Northern Ireland. I mean, really, people, there's nobody, you didn't need me telling all this. People, as long as they're comfortable, they're going to go along with the flow. Until it's too late, really. Let me stop, and I was going to go on. I have to go back to when I was kidnapped and in 41 and taken to Moulton, Alabama. There was an Army base, Air Force base, that was being built just a few miles away from Moulton, Cortland Air Base. a lot went on there, and I think that's probably where they brought me in and put me in this little um, pigsty, if you call that a home and a family, that was like out of some uh, Mad magazine. Um, but anyway, in 1953 is about the time that NASA, the Space Administration, started up with Werner von Braun, the German space scientist, about 40 miles from Moulton in Huntsville. You have to wonder about the timing because that's when MK Ultra started. Well, this is what they say. I don't know. I think I have some information. I think mind control done by the United States, whether you called it MK Ultra or not, started back in when I was little, which makes sense. But MK Ultra started was exposed and doing their mind control experiments in '53. I think Elizabeth. When did she? Supposedly, well, she did. She's got the title. It's not legal, but become Monarch in '53 or about that time, I believe. A lot of things happened in '53. And you have to wonder if you get to the truth of it about a lot of my family's German. What was the deal that really was brokered to get Werner von Braun to come over here? He's a very nice man. I saw him. I knew of him when I lived in Huntsville, and he was brought there, I believe, made a deal because to keep me alive. I really do. Um, so I wonder how much input of my being kidnapped was taken to build with personnel, money, um, former treaties, whatever, to build NASA, because that's Redstone Arsenal, and it's a command center there that, well, I'm not looking at something. I know that a lot goes on there. There's a lot of control from right there in the Marshall Islands and all that. But at the moment, um, I'm going to say this because later I know that part of my being a hostage built that place, the Space Center. You can't. No one can tell me it didn't. I hope it's exposed into John Sparkman and all of it. The Kennedys. And by the way, that's the point I was going to make. They changed Cape Canaveral and named it Cape Kennedy. These are my kidnappers, the Kennedys, who joined forces with Martin Luther King. Um, any way you cut it, that's the truth. Now, if that's okay with everybody, um, you know, why? Why would that be okay? Um, so NASA was built, the space program, whatever has gone on with it, most people ignore it unless you're listening to Coast at night, and that's the only place you get any of the truth, really. And Art Bell, who hopefully is coming back, who tells the truth about corruption, the space program, all of it. Mind control, HARP. A few people out there are doing what they should do, telling the truth, and the rest of them are on the media that are sending their kids to private schools, limos picking them up, having a ball, while they're reading press releases from the federal agencies, and you're getting a total lie, and evidently people don't care.